What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Address Your Stress, where we help you face some of life's biggest stressors. And today, we're talking about something that you might be doing that you probably shouldn't be doing. But we're talking today about dangerous coping skills. Because here's the thing, we all deal with stress, we all deal with different situations, and we deal with it one way or another. Sometimes we deal with it in a healthy way, and sometimes we deal with it in an unhealthy way. But sometimes those things can lead us into dangerous situations. So we're going to do a part 1 and part 2. Because like I said, I don't like these episodes to be longer than, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. So this part 1 is talking about dangerous coping skills that you might be doing and you probably want to change. Starting with thrill seeking. What you mean, Cameron? I just want to have fun. I just want to do, ratchet things with my ratchet friends. I just want to, turn up with my friends, do the thing, thizzle. Yeah, but here's the thing. This is, in particular, these are when you are trying to have so much fun that you are not taking into account your personal safety. Like, it's a complete disregard for your safety, hell, even the safety of others. And that is the thing that so many different young people that I see with clients is that, you're going through so much thing, or you're trying to numb the pain, or you're trying to do something else, that you're just wanting to put yourself in any kind of different predicament or situation, all for the sake of a good time. So I don't have to think about what I got going on in my personal life, family, you name it. And so thrill seeking is one of those hidden ones, because you think you're just trying to have a good time, but what you don't realize is that this is not a good situation. So that's number 1. Number 2, kind of obvious, alcohol and drugs. Now, here's the thing. I am not the guy who's going to tell you not to have any kind of sip of alcohol. I believe that when you are using alcohol to numb the pain, or you're using it in response to a stressful situation, that's where I get off the boat. Now, if we're doing it like we just celebrating, we're having a good time, it's my birthday, you need a little extra sip in the cup, I don't have a huge problem with that. And, you can have your opinions on that. But when you're using alcohol to get numb, when you're using it to avoid something, when you're using it emotionally, that is never a combination for success. And when it comes to drugs, again, that's the same thing. Like, really, I don't know too many drugs that are, obviously we're not talking about the medical drugs, but we're talking about the recreational drugs. We're talking about ecstasy. We're talking about cocaine. You're talking about heroin. We're talking about opioids. We're talking about methamphetamines. We're talking fentanyl. That's definitely, like, I don't know any kind of combination where any of these drugs have a good benefit for your health alone. And so this is why using these things to get high, again, kind of the same with alcohol, to deal with the stress, like in response to I'm going through a tough time, is never, ever, ever going to work out good in your favor, ever. Unfortunately, I was on a YouTube rabbit hole the other day, and I stumbled upon homelessness. And I actually used to work with homeless population in one of my previous jobs. And a lot of people in these videos were talking about how it's not that they just want to do drugs. Like, they're using it to deal with their circumstances. They're using it. I was looking at this homeless population in Alaska. The drugs keep me warm. Like, I got to use this to cope. But the thing is, when we use the drugs, when we use the alcohol, it literally shifts our brain chemistry and will affect our behavior, affect our rational way of thinking. We're not going to be able to break out of that because our literal brains, our minds, mindset, the way that we think, the way that we process information is altered. And so even though, like, for those of you who are listening to this, I hope that you are not out there, but if you are, in a safe place, you're not homeless, but you just started, I want you to really rethink using drugs and alcohol to, avoid and deal with your hard circumstances. The next one's we're talking about your pocketbook. First, we're going to talk about gambling. Gambling, one, it's, you want to do it. You probably want to just do it with your extra income, not with your bills, your money that you need for your monthly, your yearly essentials. You want to do this with the money that if you lose it, okay, I lost it. Cool. But here's the thing. Some people use gambling, again, as a sense of thrill seeking, as a sense to have fun. And the thing is, you got to be disciplined. You got to be able to cut it off. And if you don't have that internal discipline, that internal fortitude, and you have, let's say, an addictive personality, I'm not going to get into that, but you can really get into a rabbit hole of the particular activity. Gambling might not be for you, because that can, again, mess you all the way up very quickly. And so gambling is definitely not the way to go when it comes to dealing with it. And, as we're going through these, I want you to think, okay, maybe this not be me, but maybe I know somebody that struggles with this. Maybe, this is why this behavior, you know what? Maybe me and them need to have a conversation. Maybe me and them maybe I need to suggest a therapist to them. Maybe I just need to wrap my arms and really just support them and see what's going on so that they can, stop going to this kind of behavior for comfort. But again, we're talking about money. The last one that we're going to talk about today is compulsive spending. Some people, I'm not going to characterize women, because men do it too. Some people will shop their way to comfort. Man, I had a rough day. Let me just go ahead and buy a couple things on Amazon. Let me go on Fashion Nova. Let me go to the store real quick. Let me get boom, 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 boom. Yeah. All right, bet. Yes, I have all this stuff. Great. Your problem's still there. Again, these things can be, okay in passing. They can be everything good in moderation. But here's the thing. When we talk about spending, when we talk about gambling, when we talk about drugs and alcohol, when we talk about thrill seeking, again, using these in response to our particular struggle, using these in response to our stresses is going to lead to a dangerous, dangerous place. And I want you to be aware of these things as you're doing them. Again, doing these things, as a way of maybe having fun, doing these as a way, again, the drug, alcohol thing, that's debatable. But doing these things in response to our different struggles usually is never going to work out good. You're probably going to get by. You're probably going to you might get off with a warning shot. Like, I've had clients who, you know what, I'm not even going to go in there. But I've had clients who struggle with some of these, and they had the warning shot. They had a particular thing, and then they ended up in a situation because they didn't have the discipline. They were not the person who should have even been dealing with these type of troubles. And if you're going through some of these troubles, I want you to keep listening. I want you to stay connected to the podcast, and I want you to maybe connect with a professional who's going to help you to be able to find an additional way to not only deal with your struggles, but also find a different coping mechanism as well. And that's all we got for this week's episode. Next time, we're going to keep going down this list because I got some more that might be shocking to you. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this week's episode, share it with somebody who you think could benefit from it as well. And if you want to support the show, please subscribe wherever you are watching or listening to this and leave us a 5-star review. I'll see you soon.